Good morning, pupils. Today's lesson is entitled Traditional Jobs. Pra, mësimi sotëm titullohet Punët Tradicionale. What are today's learning outcomes? Identify different types of jobs. Predict the content about the text. By looking at the pictures, describe pictures of the text using some of the vocabulary learned. Read and comprehend the text and get the meaning of the new words. Pra, cilat do të jenë rezultatet e të nxënit për temën e sotme? Së pari, do identifikojmë punë të ndryshme, lloje të ndryshme punësh. Do parashikojmë se për çfarë bën fjalë teksti duke parë figurat. Do përshkruajmë figurat duke përdorur disa nga fjalorët që do marrim dhe do lexojmë dhe do kuptojmë tekstin dhe do marrim kuptimin e fjalëve të reja. So, let's start the first lesson. Open your books on page 89. At the beginning, so exercise number 1. The pictures show two traditional professions. Do you think that they still exist? Pra, po të shikoni, janë dy profesione tradicionale që kanë qenë më përpara. A mendoni se ato ekzistojnë akoma? So, do you think that they still exist in our modern world?
Yes, they both still exist.
So, they both still exist. So it means people still continue to do this kind of profession. Okay, now let's listen and read find out. So let's read the two texts that are here.
Traditional jobs. Lighting the way. After William Murdoch discovered that coal gas burned brightly when lit, gas lanterns soon became the primary source of lighting on the world's streets. These lights needed someone to light and maintain them. This was the job of the lamplighters. You could see this familiar figure on the streets at night, illuminating the city one lamp at a time. When electricity came into being, it gradually replaced gas and the lamplighter became unnecessary. However, a number of cities are beginning to bring them back. In Prague, in the Czech Republic, they started to reintroduce the lamps in 2002. Now you can witness lamplighters in their traditional uniforms with poles in their hands, carrying out their work, bringing the gas lights back to life. A clean sweep. In the 19th century, people used to burn coal and wood in open fireplaces to heat their homes. These fuels produced a dirty black powder called soot. This powder blocked the chimneys and someone had to clean them. This unpleasant job was very dangerous because it involved climbing up chimneys and on rooftops. When gas central heating came into use, the work of the chimney sweep began to disappear. Today, though, more and more people are going back to their fires and the sweeps are back in business. These days, they aren't boys and men walking around the city with a bag full of sticks and brushes, but they still carry out the same job as those sweeps of old times.
Okay, so let's have a look now at the new words that we have in the text.
Coal.
A hard black substance which comes from the ground and is burned as fuel. Çömür, coal, çömür.
Gas.
A natural gas from the earth burned as a fuel. Gaz.
Primary.
Main, kryesor.
Source.
Where you get something from. Burim, source.
Maintain.
To keep in good condition. Mirëmban.
Witness.
To be present and see something. Të dëshmosh, të jesh dëshmitar.
wood,
Hard material that trees are made of. Druri.
soot,
A black dust from burning wood. Bloza.
block,
To obstruct, të bllokosh.
chimney sweep,
Somebody who cleans chimneys as a job. Pra, pastrues o gjakesh.
back in business,
To start working again. Pra, të rikthehesh punës.
stick,
A long thin piece of wood. Shkop.
brush,
A tool used for cleaning. Furçe.
carry out,
To perform a task. Të bësh një punë. Okay, there are also some other words which you might find in the text. Pra mund të ketë dhe disa fjalë të tjera të cilët ju mund t'i keni në tekst. Pra morën fjalën
Be back in business. Be back in business.
t'i kthesh biznesit.
Brush. Brush.
Furçe,
Carry out.
të bësh një punë.
Chimney sweep.
Pastrues o gjakesh.
Coal.
Qymyr,
Come into use.
i hy në punë.
Discover.
Zbuloj,
Familiar.
familjar,
Figure.
të kuptosh diçka.
Fuel.
Karburant,
Gas.
gaz,
Heat.
të ngrohësh.
Illuminate.
Ndriçoj,
Involve.
përfshi,
Lantern.
fener,
Light.
drit,
Lighting.
ndriçoj,
Maintain.
mirë mbaj,
Nostalgia.
të kesh nostalgji,
Pole.
një shtyll,
Powder.
pluhur,
Primary source.
burim kryesor,
Reintroduce.
të riprezentoj,
Replace.
zëvendësoj,
Soot. Soot.
bloza,
Stick.
shkop,
Unpleasant.
diçka jo e këndshme,
Witness.
të jesh dëshmitar,
Wood.
dru. So you have to read the text and translate it into the Albanian language. Pra duhet ta lexoni tekstin dhe ta përktheni në gjuhën shqipe. So let's continue with exercise number 2. Read the text again and complete the sentences. So you have to complete the sentences using words from the text. A lamplighter's job involved lighting and maintaining gas lamps around the city. Lamplighters became unnecessary when electricity came into being. Nowadays, you can see lamplighters in Prague, in the Czech Republic. A chimney sweep's job involved climbing up chimneys and on rooftop and cleaning soot out of chimneys. Chimney sweeps disappeared when gas central heating came into use. Nowadays, chimney sweeps are back in business. So you have to complete the exercise and write it in your copybook. Pra duhet ta plotësoni dhe ta shkruani në fletore. Exercise number 3, you have to complete to match the highlighted verbs in the text with their meaning. Pra do lidhin fjalët, foljet me kuptimin e tyre. Pra duke parë në fjalit në tekst. Required, it means to be involved. Main, primary. Make warm, heat. Lighting up, illuminating. Keep in good condition, maintain. So, say 4 things you can remember from the text. Pra thoni 4 gjëra të cilat ju mund t'i mbani mend nga teksti. Për shembull,
William Murdoch discovered that coal gas burnt brightly. Street lamps used to be lit by lamplighters. Soot comes from burning wood and coal. A chimney sweep's work used to be dangerous.
good. So let's continue with exercise number 5, which is going to be your homework for next time. Think of a traditional job in your country. Write a paragraph about it. Write names, profession, job description, clothing, other interesting information. Pra çfarë do bëni? Do gjini një punë e cila ka qenë tradicionale në shtetin tuaj dhe shkruani një përshkrim të kësaj pune për duke gjetur informacione interesante. Teksti ka dhënë dhe një shembull: Carbonero, core coal, charcoal maker. So let's listen to this short paragraph.
A carbonero was a charcoal maker. He made charcoal by making a pile of wooden logs with a chimney hole in the middle. He covered it all with soil and straw and made it airtight. He lit the pile and it burned very slowly over a period of 5 days at a constant heat to make the charcoal. Then he sealed the chimney and the charcoal cooled down. Carboneros lived and worked in the forest all year round in all weather. Charcoal was used for heating fuel and by blacksmiths.
Pra, gjini në internet ndonjë profesion tjetër si ky dhe mund ta shkruani. Për ato që nuk kanë mundësinë, mund të shkruajnë rreth këtij profesioni. So this was the first hour's lesson. The second hour is entitled A Woman of Courage. Pra ora e dytë do marrim një tekst tjetër, një grua me plot kurajo. What are the learning outcomes? Introduce the topic of today's lesson, read for specific information and get the meaning of the new words, consolidate information in the text and express opinions. Pra, kush do të jenë rezultatet e të nxënit? Do identifikojmë temën e mësimit të sotëm, do lexojmë për një informacion specifik dhe do marrim kuptimin e fjalëve të reja dhe do konsolidojmë informacionin duke shprehur disa nga opinionet tona. So, open the text on page 90. US history across the curriculum. You are going to learn today about a young woman called Helen Keller. Do you know anything about her? Think some minutes. Pra, a njini këtë gruan Helen Keller? Probably not, but let's have a look at it. Where was she born? So where was she from? Do you know what she accomplished and why is she famous?
Where was she from?
What did she accomplish?
Why is she famous?
Okay, so let's have a look now at the text.
A woman of courage. Helen Adams Keller was born on the 27th of June 1880 in Alabama, USA. Unfortunately, Helen contracted an illness when she was only 19 months old that left her deaf and blind. Her mother found it difficult to cope with Helen, so they decided to hire a teacher. On the 3rd of March 1887, Anne Sullivan, a former blind woman who had regained her sight, arrived at the Kellers' home. With Anne's help, Helen learnt how to read and write using Braille. She went on to study, and on the 28th of June 1904, she became the first deaf-blind person ever to have earned a Bachelor of Arts degree. Over the following years, Helen toured the world, giving talks about her life experiences and her support of female suffrage, pacifism, and workers' rights. In 1915, she founded Helen Keller International, an organization to support research into vision and health and nutrition. And in 1920, she helped create the American Civil Liberties Union, whose aim is to defend civil liberties. In later years, Helen devoted herself to raising funds for the American Foundation for the Blind. In 1961, Helen suffered a stroke and had to withdraw from public life, but she was far from forgotten. On the 14th of September 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson awarded her one of the highest civilian honors, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And in 1965, she was elected to the National Women's Hall of Fame. Helen died in her sleep from natural causes on the 1st of June 1968. She left her mark on society and proved that, as she once said, "Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much."
So let's have a look now at the new words. Let's një sypra fjalëve të reja.
Cope.
To deal with a difficult situation. Përballoj.
Regain sight.
To be able to see again after being blind. Pra t'i rikthehet shikimi.
Braille.
A system of reading and writing consisting of raised dots that blind people feel with their fingers. Pra Braille është një sistem të cilët përdorin personat të cilët nuk dëgjojnë, nuk shikojnë.
Support.
Help, assistance, pra ta mbështesësh diçka, ta ndihmosh dikë.
Suffrage.
The right to vote, pra e drejta për të votuar, suffrage.
Pacifism.
A belief in non-violence, pra të jesh paqësor.
Workers' rights.
Laws that protect workers. E drejta e punëtorëve.
Vision.
Eyesight, shikim.
Nutrition.
Eating healthy. Ushqyerje.
Defend.
To stand up for somebody or something. Të mbrosh.
Civil liberties.
Basic human rights. Të drejtat civile, të drejtat njerëzore.
Devote.
To give a lot of time to one thing. Ti dedikohesh.
Stroke.
A burst or blocked blood vessel in the brain causing death or partial paralysis. Atak, zakonisht atak në zemër.
Withdraw.
To not take part any longer. Tërhiqet.
Elect.
To select somebody for something. Të zgjedhësh. Okay, so read the text alone and try to translate it into Albanian language. You might also have some new words. Pra mund të keni dhe disa fjalë të tjera të reja. Blind, pra personi i cili nuk shikon. Braille, ishte sistemi i personave të cilët nuk shikonin. Civil liberties, të drejta civile. Civilian honors, nderim civil. Contract, të bësh një kontrakt. Cope, përballosh. Deaf, personi i cili nuk dëgjon. Defend, mbroj. Degree është një diplom. Devote, ja përkushton. Earn, fitoj. Elect, zgjedh. Former, ish. Illness, sëmundje. Mark, fillim. Nutrition, ushqyerje. Pacifism, pra një ndjenjë të qenurit i paqt, pra, me paqe. So, after we have read the text, let's put the statements if they are true or false and correct the false statements. Helen was born deaf and blind. She became deaf and blind when she was only 19, so it is false. Helen's teacher had also been blind. This is true. Before Helen, no deaf-blind person had graduated with a Bachelor of Art degree. True. Helen did a lot of public speaking. It's true. And Helen died from a stroke. Careful. It's false. She died from a natural cause. Find words in the text. Pra do gjeni fjalë në tekst të cilët kanë të njëjtin kuptim me fjalët që ju janë dhënë. Cut, pra të kapesh, kap. Help, ndihmoj. Intention, të kesh synim. To employ, të punësosh. Previously, më përpara. Established, vendos. So, cut, contracted. Help, support. Intention, aim. To employ, to hire. Previously, once. Established, founded. And this was all today's lesson. For next time, you are going to find information about well-known people. Pra, do gjeni informacione për njerëz të cilët janë shumë të famshëm në historinë e Amerikës. Okay? With this, we finish the second hour for today. I hope you had a great time and see you next time. Goodbye.